morning, everybody. Whether it's East Coast, West Coast, or around the world, this is Coast to Coast. What's happening, guys? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to let Herb talk first. I just figured.
Oh,
that hasn't happened on any show though, so it's like I'm so
like
unprepared.
like a heads up or something.
Yeah.
So in the land of weird, since we did talk about this earlier, we might as well kick it off with some weirdness because it's a Wednesday and it's already been kind of a weird day. Dianna Russini resigns from The Athletic, and the letter that she wrote that she then also posted on Twitter, X, whatever, really just adds more flames. Right. So she, in this letter, she's like, you know, I'm resigning. I want to protect my family and like all of this stuff. But that just makes it sound like you're running from the issue. And, you know, she basically said that she doesn't want to continue to, you know, give oxygen to this fire. Putting this letter out absolutely adds oxygen to this fire, right? Because now you look like you're running from something that you said was innocent and there was nothing behind it. And you're, you know, so it seems counterintuitive to do what she's doing. Now, that basically it just makes it sound like she's guilty of everything that these photos are putting out there, and she knew she was going to get fired anyway. But that's not the way it reads.
Yeah. No, it's first of all, I didn't think it would happen. Like I thought after they weathered the first storm, like usually you just kind of ride out the rest of it. We'll make our jokes for a little longer and then it goes. So yeah, the timing of this and her coming out, before I even read it, I said, oh, I guess so they admit they did something, right? Like that was my first thought when I saw that headline come across. Was okay. She said, yeah, they're done. So I don't know.
It just seemed crazy. I don't know.
There has been a little bit of a shift in power, I think, in media. There's been a number of these types of situations that have occurred that have created in Philadelphia. I don't know enough about it to speak super intelligently, but there was the sideline reporter for the Philadelphia Eagles got dismissed without reason or cause.
Okay.
And there are rumors that have swirled about that. Those rumors are similar to what's happening with Russini.
Okay.
And there have been a major push for women in this industry.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm feeling that this may be a fight back by men in general. Now, I will tell you that everything is very murky when it comes to the Eagles sideline reporter getting let go.
Sure.
But it definitely seems very viable. And the only reason why everything is very, very murky is because there is no pictures, and whoever it may have been, the other party, is good enough to maybe keep it quiet.
I mean, that's a key part of it, right?
Yeah. Again,
if you're doing that type of stuff. I mean, if you're partaking in National Banana Day, you need to not let other people know about it.
Well, that's exactly it. You got to make sure that the peels are all cleaned up. And it's very interesting because a lot of the guys that have come in and worked really hard and spent a lot of time to get into this industry have been pushed aside just because the industry became woke, so to speak, and needed to get women in here who may not have done enough or have done as much as the men have. And I think that this may be, and listen, these are we're playing in the world of reporters.
Yes.
Well, what are they going to do? They're going to report. So,
Yep.
like I said, this could have been a jealous lover, but now, just because of some of the other things that are happening around the country in the similar situation, it makes me wonder if it is just reporters reporting.
A hit campaign kind of thing.
Maybe.
It's like I wouldn't rule anything out at this point. That's for sure.
All right. The Russini one thing seems very specific to that situation. It didn't seem like it definitely seemed like it had to do with one of the two of them, and somebody was following one of the two of them.
That's the thing.
I don't know about it, but yeah.
That's the thing, is this was obviously like someone was sent there to do this, which is where I still think this is probably in the land of somebody's husband or wife had a PI or something like that.
Yeah.
Because this one was oddly specific. Like, that is not a location that paparazzi is just hanging out.
Right.
So this is, this seemed oddly specific to them. But when you're talking about across the country, I wouldn't rule out, exactly what you're talking about, that, there's some reactive, targeting.
Possibly. I mean, like I said, I also understand, but if you are the Eagles, and you are hearing all of this stuff come out and wondering how is it getting there? What's happening? How's this coming about? And then, everybody was just together. They were all just together at the executive meetings.
Yep.
It's simple enough to, oh, you're going over here. Let's go find out what's happening. Listen, this is, when we found out, like I said, I will never, ever not believe that we were being privy to super high-end owner-style gamesmanship. When you heard about when they have a police raid in a massage parlor.
Oh yeah.
The moment that's not an accident.
No,
that happens purposely.
Yeah.
This type of stuff happens when you have unlimited funds and you just say, hey, listen, hey, Big Dom, I need somebody to go find out what's happening over here. Now, I'm not going to ask Big Dom. What I mean? I don't want to know the answer. I don't want to know the answer to that question. But I also put it within the realm of possibility. Even as outlandish as it may sound, it's not as ridiculous as outlandish because, it's like, hey, listen, I feel like, with the more money you have, the more ways there are to die. As funny as that sounds.
No
and that's the world that we're playing in. This is like 007 stuff that it's like not real to us because we don't have those types of means. These guys do.
No, I mean, to your point, it is unlimited funds. And if they need a guy, they just go, I need a guy. And of course, dating myself there because nobody has that kind of phone anymore, but but still.
Call the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I think that it's a possibility. I'm not leaving it off the table. And it's a pretty big table at this point.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I mean, any way you can get a tactical advantage, these guys are going to do. So, I mean, even if you're just adding distraction and burning a reporter in the midst, right? But you're just adding a distraction to a competitor. What happens with these teams when there's off the field distractions? They suffer consistently. So, I mean, even if you were just looking at it from that end, they were targeting Vrabel just to create some chaos in the front office there to, set their team back a little bit. I wouldn't rule it out when it comes to NFL owners.
Right.
And of course, this is all speculation. This is an opinion show, so we're not breaking anything here.
No, exactly. That's exactly correct. We don't know
anything.
Yeah, we know exactly what everybody else knows. So,
yes.
We're just here in the speculatory range. So, don't take anything here as gospel. Don't sue the show.
Yeah, we're not Pat McAfee. We don't have that money.
Exactly. I mean, if you levy the lawsuit, we're gonna be like, Yeah.
Here's what I got in my pockets. Good luck.
I was gonna say, here's the rock. You can squeeze as much water as you want out of it.
Exactly. There's some lint in this left one you can have.
Yes. Here you go.
But yeah, no, I just thought it was interesting because again, that letter dropped yesterday, and it just seemed ill-timed because it seemed like the story was already starting to fade a little bit.
Basically.
Now, if they would have had to turn around and fire, obviously that would have brought this thing back up, right? Because that would have been a public statement. So I mean, I get trying to get in front of it or something to that effect, but this just makes it look like you're admitting guilt, even if you're not.
Well, I think they are guilty.
I mean, the picture's kind of.
Hey, listen. Who slept on the floor in that room?
0 people.
There was only one bed.
I mean, you don't sleep on the floor of a hotel for a multitude of reasons.
Well, that wasn't a hotel room. That was a cottage, a very exclusive cottage. So, whatever. It's
they probably even play some smooth jazz in that cottage.
Wow.
See, that brings it back home.
There you
go. That being said, we did have some playing games yesterday, and they did not disappoint. They were actually pretty entertaining games, as it turns out. I'm not a fan of the play-in in general, but both those games were good. The Charlotte game going to overtime was that one was a fun watch.
It was, especially the way they got to overtime with a 3 that you're like, why is he taking that? Oh, okay, great, nice shot.
With the bounds.
Yes,
yeah,
the turnaround of 3 falling out of bounds. I was like, okay, that's how you get there, and then the layup at the end, and then the frantic block on the other end. It was a fun watch. It was a fun watch. So yeah, for every time you say, because I'm with you, like I didn't think the plan was necessary, but then it's like they almost scripted something. It's like, hey, let's start off like this to get everybody interested. So it was a fun watch, and good for Charlotte, who's quietly been the second hottest team since the All-Star break. Like I think the second best record since All-Star break. So.
Well, and the second best team on the boards, which was a key element when it came to really the midsection of that game. When their shooting turned cold, basically when they let balls shoot the ball.
Man, for somebody who was the hero, his line in that game was still terrible. Like I didn't realize. I think at one point he was like 2 for 14 on threes. Yeah, like you still got the 30 points and missed everything. So I don't even think they were letting him shoot down the stretch. And then Knuppel, I read an article early this morning too that they were like, because it's a 2-man race with him and Flag, and they were like, they wonder if this would cost them votes. And they said ordinarily, it's just a regular season award. It doesn't matter. But because of appeals to the 65 game limit, people haven't voted yet. They have their ballots, but they're waiting for updates. So because you're human and you watched that game last night and you see him shoot terribly and get benched, they're like, do people not vote for him just because, I understand you're supposed to block it out and not pay attention because it's only a regular season award, but
they don't do that.
No, people are still watching. So it was just an interesting thing. But kudos to Hornets. I didn't realize how hard I was rooting for them until last night. So that was a heck of a game.
It was funny too, because going in the final 2 minutes of that game, the Heat nail a couple of key threes. They go up by 5, and you're like, okay, this is kind of where they start to separate. Charlotte started to miss some of these shots. And then you started to see a couple of those things land where it was the fall out of bounds 3. And you're just like, that was the most ill-advised shot ever that happened to land. And, and then right at the end, Hero, who had been playing really well, especially late in the fourth, heels off that last second shot and goes into overtime.
Right.
And then honestly, it looked like it was going to go into a second overtime. So and it was funny because I was trying to go to the store and I'm like, all right, like this game is got to end. And then it's like, is it seriously going to go to double over? Like the store's going to be closed. Like,
yes. No, they were stretching that one out. That was fun though. It was fun. It was a good way to kick it off. What's up, see?
Yeah, I had only caught the last 3 minutes of overtime.
Which is still good.
Yeah, that was probably the best parts. I missed all the how they got there and such because the Flyers game had ended, and then we showed up and it was like, oh, okay, this is what's happening. And then I didn't even get to see the second game.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the other game either.
So I stayed up for it, and then there was a point where I think Phoenix was up 10, and I was like, okay, I'm about to doze off here, and then all of a sudden, Portland. And if you want to talk about a game where, you talked about this before, where they start to let you play a little bit more once you get to the playoffs.
Yeah,
there were just several drives where, and the guys were making their shots, but they're yelling at the ref, and the ref's like, I let it go on that end, I let it go on this end, man. Just play, And at some point, I think you got to realize, all right, it's just a little more physical, and they're not, they're not calling everything. But that one was another one. Was it the Danny Avija hit 41, I guess, in that game? So that was another fun one. And I thought the Suns were going to win that one. And it looked for most part that they were going to. And Portland, they've had a huge playoff drought. They fought back and got into it and won that one. So officially in the playoffs. I guess your first play-in team in the playoffs right now. So kudos to them. But it was a fun watch. It was worth staying up for.
Well, and it's funny that you mentioned how physical it was, because when you think of that, the Hornets game, the really just coming down the stretch, there was nothing that was like you got to body slam somebody, and they're like, I don't know, I lost my whistle 20 minutes ago. Like,
right.
Because you saw some for sure fouls that were not called. Yeah,
but to their credit, it was going both ways. Guys on both sides were getting hit, and I was like, you just gotta adjust to it. Because like I said, the guy Denny, and I always think I messed up his last name, Avija. There was like 2 or 3 drives where he thought he got hit. He's on the ref, and his teammates pushing him back. I'm like, look, you guys are getting away with it on the other side too, man. Just play, just go. Don't get yourself a stupid tech, in a 2-point game at the end because you're upset. So yeah, did you get bumped a little on that one? Yeah. Did they grab you? Did they move you? Did you still made the shot? Keep playing. So.
Well, and it was funny because going into the last 3 minutes, there was a sequence that it was so physical on both sides that there was a guy on the ground on both ends of the floor. That you're just like, okay, well, it's 4-on-4 at the moment. So
right. Yeah. It's all equal. We're all good. Keep playing. So yeah. And Charlotte is playing to lose to the Pistons, but for them making the playoffs at this point is still a huge accomplishment, especially considering where they came from at the beginning of this season. So still kudos to them.
None of these play-in teams are going anywhere, but at least we got a good game out of the play-in.
Right. But can I bring up something Philly mentioned yesterday that was interesting in the same article? They talked about winners and losers. because the Heat lost, they do slide into the lottery. And at their stage of roster construction, having a shot is still much better because they mentioned in the article the last two, the Hawks and the Mavs were also two teams that lost in the playoffs, slid into the lottery and ended up with like number one picks. I'm not saying it's going to happen to the Heat, but now there's a chance to improve your team. So yeah, losing in the play-in is not the worst team if your team is just not going anywhere.
Oh, and I can't imagine that the NBA is very, is against possibly saying, hold on, let's put a little bit of liquid in all the other ping pong balls and that extra heavy bit of coating so that the Miami ball just floats a little higher.
I mean, if it happens, I won't be shocked. They're like, we could, what, Miami's a good franchise and they could use a star over there. So here you go. So
and that's it's worth it because Miami is an NBA destination.
Yes.
Correct.
That is so they want to make sure that they remain relevant.
No, I could absolutely see the NBA, oh, look, Miami got a guy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
maybe not the first pick, but like the third.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I could see it.
I mean, I could see him getting the first pick.
Yeah.
The NBA is not bashful. Yeah. The NBA is not bashful about this.
No. No. So, I would not be shocked. But
that's why I always laugh at the Spurs. It's like the Spurs aren't even in the lottery and they're going to win it. Like,
yeah.
They're like, I don't know how that happened. Mystery ball.
Yes. I mean, there's a franchise. I mean, it's a well-run franchise, but man, you guys are surviving on the generational number one picks, coming along and basically propping up the whole thing for like 20 years, it feels like. So,
I mean, but San Antonio has what? A population of what, 150,000 people? I don't even know. Like I'm busting on them a little bit here, but like San Antonio doesn't.
they're not that small.
I feel like that it's the Green Bay of the NBA.
Oh, I don't think they're that bad.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, the only thing I know about San Antonio is the Alamo.
San Antonio, 1.53 million people.
Yeah, there we go.
You just killed like 1 million people to give them.
I know, right? No, that's why I was like, there's no way.
They all commute. No. They all live in Houston. They drive over for games.
That's a long drive.
It's literally only the Spurs staff. That's it.
Yes, basically.
Do not have Tiger Woods be your Uber driver for that.
Oh my goodness.
Well, no, I mean he just wrecked, so you're good for about a decade.
Oh my goodness,
man.
Yeah. Philly likes Philly and hates everything else. It's like, why did they even invent other cities? This is ridiculous.
It should be the country of Philadelphia.
Yes.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
He's just embracing the if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because one of the things that I'm doing is I have to write a speech today about so I'm going to be in Pittsburgh and they've asked me to close the ceremony again. Visit PA has asked me to close the ceremony again and to change my speech, not to do the same speech again, but obviously change my speech around to focus slightly more on Pittsburgh and the NFL draft. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be dressed up in all Philadelphia Eagles gear for this because I've got something else to do right afterwards. So sure, I could do it,
Yeah.
But so
that's
I'm
an
trying
interesting
to.
choice.
Yeah. No. So Philadelphia, they say it's not 1.5 million that live in
the city.
In the city of like the Philadelphia County has got 3.4 million and the whole the 5 counties surrounding that is somewhere in the neighborhood of like 8 to 10 million. So it's,
well, I mean, that's the same thing they do for Seattle, right? Like if you're talking about in Seattle, it's like, you know, $1 million, $1.5 million. And then, but there's not a lot of housing in Seattle, right? So as soon as you get the suburbs right there, then you're, you know, 3.5 million people.
right. And Jamie, I will, you know, I'm waiting to see. I haven't seen anything about the schedule yet, although I have not looked much this morning. Excuse me 1 second, guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
I also want to know if there's any excitement for this playing
Hold on
game
one
today, or is it just don't matter? I don't know what we're holding.
Let's
Okay.
mute him here. There we go. that sounded like that might not be a for radio conversation right there.
Right. Now, did you see the trip situation that happened at the beginning of the Miami game, or have you seen the like replay of it or whatever?
No,
Okay, so best player for Miami Heat, Bam Adebayo. I guess he gets a rebound. LaMelo Ball's on the ground and basically just reach over and grabs his foot to trip Bam. Comes straight down on his back. That's it for him. He's out for the rest of the game.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Yeah. So Spoelstra came out after because there was nothing called on the play. I guess everybody missed it. And then Spoelstra said he should have been thrown out, which I don't know. It was a bad play, but it's more about the fall, you know, than the grabbing the foot. Because Ball felt like he got hit. He's on the ground. He's lashing out. He grabs it. You know, and maybe I'm biased. I was rooting for Hornets. I'd hate for him to get thrown out. But I guess if I'm the Miami guy,
a lot.
right?
Had he been thrown out,
he had 30. He had 30 in 30, 10, and 5. It was just a lot of shots to get to that 30.
Yeah.
No, it was because, like I said, I stopped looking, but at one point, so he's 2 of 14 for 3. Every 3 they hit down the stretch that was key was not from him. He hit the game-winning layup, but every other, I think Bridges hit some big ones, Miller hit some big ones, Kobe White hit some big ones. Yep. They at one point, I think, just said, Melo, stop shooting. Like, just don't. We're good. Don't do this anymore. Because he was definitely shooting him out of it. But it was just interesting, you know, because that's your best player. Does that change the whole makeup of the rest of the game, even though you still had chances to win? But
I mean, they had a lot of chances to win. And I mean, let's be honest. Charlotte was only in it because of some lucky shots. Like they put up some shots that you don't really practice, right? Like that, the falling out of bounds one is easily the one to pin. That was right there because you don't practice that shot, right? Like you may practice, you know, a turnaround jumper from 3. Absolutely. You're not doing it falling out of bounds like that. Right. That's not something which you're just like, oh, you know, in practice, this is what we're going to focus on today.
Yeah. No. I mean, they are a team that shoots a lot of threes, but yes, they're usually a little more traditional threes. But yeah, Bridges, Miller, and Kobe White had 5 threes apiece. LaMelo Ball, 2 for 16 shooting from 3. So after I noticed the 2 for 14, he jacked up 2 more and then quit. So we good to go, sir? You need a hug?
It's a wacky Wednesday, I tell you. It is definitely a wacky Wednesday. I live above a bar, and this was a beer guy, but you don't just you just come walking up onto my porch looking. I'm like, what is going on here? So, like, this guy's like, what's he doing?
I was told the bathroom was up here.
So I was like, yeah, buddy, it's downstairs. This is not a bar, obviously. He's like looking into my house. I'm like,
it's too early for this kind of stuff.
Right?
That's why I'm like, hold on, guys. And then he's like, I'm trying to hit the mute button and he's yelling. I'm like, oh my Lord, just
no. That's why I hit it for you. I was like, that sounds like it's not for radio. Like,
thank you.
Oh man. No, like it's definitely a interesting start to the day. There's no doubt. I started it off with somebody reaching out. They're like, oh, hey, you know, we want to take over your, you know, making shorts and stuff. I'm like, okay, sure. What's that look like? And, you know, no chance I was actually signing up for this, but, you know, give me your pitch. Let's see what you got. And they're like, yeah, so you send us, all the clips and we put it together for you. I was like, oh, so you want me to do all of the hard part of this, and then
Right.
you're gonna put it together. That part takes like 15 minutes.
Right.
No. I was like, oh, cool. What does this deal cost you? And they're like, oh, between $10 and $100 a short. I was like, you guys are high. So you want me to basically do all of the work for it, and then you're gonna, hey, I'm doing the wrong stuff apparently. I should make sure it's for people, because that sounds like
a good gig if you can get it. Yes.
You do all the legwork and I will assemble it.
Say, hey, man. So Phil, what I was asking right before you go, is there any excitement for the play-in game tonight? Or is it just kind of like, eh?
So I would normally be at this game tonight. Being the Philly sports guy, like, okay, you have to, it's like, doesn't matter how I feel about the team, how I feel about ownership. It's actually not, I feel good about the team. I feel not the best about ownership itself. But unfortunately, tonight is also the same night that we have our dart championship, our dart team championship.
See, that lets you know exactly how exciting
that's what I was thinking.
You're like, yeah, I'm gonna go play some beer league darts. And
yes. That was my thought exactly.
I think there's a root canal that I can schedule.
But there is. This is the championships though. If it was a normal game, I would be going. I would be going to the play-in. But I typically, every year, these finals fall on draft week.
Yeah.
So I don't ever get to make it. And every year we go to the finals and we play the same team. Okay. And I'm never there. And we lose. Okay. And this year
it's darts over playoff basketball, Brian.
Yes. Not even just a regular game.
No, it's not playoff. It's play in.
Yeah.
There's a difference, because this is actually, because of the way that they do it, this is considered regular season.
I don't think it's considered regular season.
I don't think so. This doesn't go towards your awards and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, they say it doesn't go to the awards, but they haven't given out the sheets yet. And
no.
If you lose,
influence, but it doesn't count as your 65.
Yeah. If you lose, you get thrown into the lottery. The lottery. So my thought is that this is now considered regular season stuff.
I think it's that gray area, because that's what I was saying earlier, because the people have their ballots, but they're not allowed to vote yet. So mentally, these games can influence awards, yes, but it really is in that gray area, because we don't consider them the playoffs, but they're not part of your regular season. They're just games that are there. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And for Philly, you're guaranteed at least one more game. So I guess you still have a chance of, regardless of how tonight shakes out.
And I would be nervous. I would be absolutely nervous to play Charlotte right now.
Yeah, for sure.
That high is a big deal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, me either, Brian. Yeah. I've said it a million times. I don't like it, but here we are.
Yeah.
And the play-ins, the 2 play-in games yesterday were awesome. So
yeah,
can't really be mad if the game is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of think you're going to see the same thing tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got the Clippers. Well, I'll be honest. I think that the Sixers win handily. Now yesterday's games make me believe that it's,
duds tonight.
As they say in poker, you have a chip and a chance. Like in tournament poker, I got 1 chip left. And I know that personally. I've been down to the 1 chip and won the tournament. That being said, I feel like that I think the Sixers are going to win this handily. I think that the second game though is going to be a really good game. the Clippers versus the Warriors. That's going to be like an old school playoff game.
Hmm.
Because it's one and done, obviously, and they both have like veterans, like old
And
school
neither team is
veterans.
particularly good.
Yeah.
Like whoever wins that game is going to get bounced the next game anyway.
Yeah.
Is it going to be that way? You think? You think they're going to lose the play-in?
Yeah, I do. Like neither one of those teams look very good. Like they needed the play-in to play in.
You're also have stars that, like, are you hoping for? So Steph Curry's on a minutes restriction, so he's not. If there's close, he's not going full game anyway. And on the other side is Kawhi Leonard, who you never know how much you're getting from him in a game. So, like, I agree, both of those teams are in trouble in the next part of it. So, and honestly, for both of them, the Warriors get in the lottery. They've clearly shown they have no idea what to do in the lottery. So I don't think it even matters. But the Clippers need a reset. So it wouldn't be the worst thing for them to just go ahead and bow out of this thing now.
Yeah. No, if the Warriors are in there, they're definitely weighting that ball down. They're like, yeah, no, you guys don't get this.
No, we gave you a top 5 pick already, and he's not even on the team. So
right? It's not even adding like the heavier coating. They're putting like a fishing weight inside it. They're like, that ball is staying on the ground.
Yes. So I don't know. They're just kind of wasting the last years of Steph Curry. So.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing that he doesn't retire. Like, if he retired now, he'd probably be in the Hall of Fame. Correct?
He'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no matter what.
Right. So
his game isn't built on athleticism per se; it's on shooting. So he probably thinks he has another 2 to 3. He won't get around as much as he can, but you don't lose the shot. Now the injuries are taking a toll.
Yeah.
So I think, I guess what you're saying, like, retire a Warrior for sure, because I don't want to see him go anywhere else. But he's still valuable to somebody.
And not only that,
I think if he shifts to where he's not the guy bringing the ball up, if he becomes more of what Thompson used to be, which is the catch and shoot guy, then he does have a couple more years. But with him being the focal point coming up the floor, the injuries are going to make it way too hard to continue to do that. Because, I mean, he's always been a liability on defense, so it's not like we're talking about that. So, but yeah, I mean, essentially he needs to start to transition into that catch and shoot guy.
Yeah. And just because I mean, now I don't know this personally because I haven't been out on the course with him, but that he would be eligible for his PGA card.
Oh yeah,
I heard he's that good of a golfer.
Wow. Okay.
So that's what I was thinking. Like, it's why not? Listen, you've accomplished everything you need to accomplish here. You're not Michael Jordan. Your team is not going to give you enough over the next year to be able to go back and make a serious championship run.
Right.
Why not take the rest of your athletic years and not get injured anymore? Like, you don't have to worry about running. You could have somebody else carry your bag, swing a club, put the ball in the hole.
He's a very talented golfer, so
you can even roll your car every decade and you'll be fine. It doesn't even matter.
I mean, I believe that. I mean, it would be something that I personally would consider. Now, I don't know that he's even thought about it like that, but I got to imagine it's Steph Curry. So the PGA would probably, if it wasn't the PGA, I don't even know. Is the other one out in Dubai still a thing?
Oh, the live golf thing?
Yeah. Is that still even happening?
People were leaving it, but I thought it's still out there. So
yeah.
I think it's just lost a lot of the shine from early on. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know DeChambeau was really the guy who was leading that charge for a while, and now it's whatever. Yeah. But
I feel like a lot of guys took the money early in that thing, and now it's fizzling out, and you're seeing more Like their contracts are running out and they're done. So like, all right, thanks. Appreciate the millions. I'm good for now.
Yeah.
Because you hardly hear anything about them anymore. When before it was like a fight every other week.
Mm-hmm.
But so I would, maybe that's how the LIV gets back on track and says, hey, let's bring in Steph Curry. Let's give him multi-millions of dollars. Because that's really the hard part. He would make what, $67 million to play?
That's the thing, is why retire when they're just literally bringing money printing to your house.
Yeah.
Like, it's tough to want to limit that income. I understand that he has endorsements and all these other things. So it's not like he'd be hurting for cash or anything like that. At the same time, if you can squeeze another 2-3 years at $50+ million a year, that's tough to say no to.
Yeah, I know. I get it. I mean, listen, I don't make that kind of money. And there's a time where I would think that if I did make that kind of money, enough is enough. I understand that's not how this world works. And greed is a real thing. And ultimately, you could always want more.
Some of them yachts are $100 million. You got to keep that money coming in.
Yeah. Well, it's
Like
not the $100 million that costs for the yacht. It's the $2.4 million a year that it costs to maintain that yacht.
Yeah.
So
and
it's
another $300,000 to staff that yacht.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
300,000. That's just for 2 months out of the year. You got another 10 months that you got to work that out.
Well,
have you seen some of them shows?
Bo's on some of those shows, so that's how he knows. So.
Yes. I was waiting for that.
Yes.
I was waiting.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. I was gonna hold off, but no, we all know.
If I had one of those, I'd be doing this from there.
Yeah. But no. So his contract runs out after next year. So I think you get the one more year. He's 38 that year, 63 million, or 62.5 if you want to be good. But they're not winning next year.
No.
And you've got to think, like, to your point, is it time to go and walk? You're a legend in the Warriors. Nobody wants to see you go anywhere else, because somebody would take you. Somebody obviously would pick you up. They're like, hey, we just need shooting and we think we can win this whole thing. But that seems like the perfect time to go ahead and walk away. You're getting older. The injuries are mounting. Next year is going to be a wasted year. We all know that. This team is not built to win the whole thing. So I think he rides out one more year, plays like half the games, and maybe that's it.
Well, what is left on his contract? Like,
that's 1 year. Next year is it. Next year is it. Yeah. He signed a 1 year extension that was part of his overall extension. I had to look it up because I wasn't sure. And then it says unrestricted free agent the year after. So
okay,
that's it.
Yeah, I mean, if that were then there's a potential that he just comes back for next year.
Yeah,
especially if the team's not going to be good. Play out that final year, get your 50+ mil, do your farewell tour, and I can see
right up.
I could see that.
I mean, because how close is he to catching LeBron on points?
On points?
Points? No.
No,
he's nowhere.
Nowhere. Yeah.
No, that's not happening.
So then if that's the case, so there's not, he's already got the 3-point record, right? He's got the most threes ever in the NBA.
Yeah. Every record that he's close enough to get, he already has.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like there's not really anything to play for. Like, even if I'm the Warriors, and I know that this isn't an NBA thing to do, but I would buy him out. Like, hey, let's do this the right way. Like, now, again, I'm big on retirement tours. We were talking about that with Ovechkin. I think that Curry would be one of those guys to do that. I also feel that that's what LeBron's going to do next year. He's going to do the retirement tour.
But for who?
Say again?
But for who? He's not signed to LA for next year. So is he trying to sign a 1-year contract?
Doesn't he own part of that team now?
You can't own it while you're playing for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right,
So-
well then yeah, I don't know. I can't answer that question. I thought he was going to retire last year.
Right,
But-
same. The team is honestly ready for him to move on. You know, they want to turn it over to Luka, use that money to kind of fill out the team. So I don't see LeBron as a coach. I just don't.
I don't see that happening either.
Yeah.
He could. You have seen players do it. I don't think he will.
Yeah, he has the knowledge of the game to do it, but I don't think he wants to put in like the little, minute by minute stuff you have to do and subs and all that stuff. No, I don't see that from him. Not a knock on him. I mean, everybody's just not ready to coach.
I mean, there's a little bit of a knock on him. I think there's a little too much crying for him to be a coach.
And also, you can't pass him the ball when you're open while he's on the sideline.
He's still going to ask for the ball, though.
Yeah, he is.
Probably. But no, to your point about both of them, Curry, a good farewell tour work makes sense. He has 1 year left. LeBron would have to sign somewhere for next year and then do the farewell tour.
I still think he does, though.
My question is just where?
There's a bad team. There's a bad team that's going to want people in the seats.
And I think they're playing tonight.
Yeah.
Could you possibly see him playing with the Warriors?
Yeah, absolutely. I think him and Curry, despite you saw in the Olympics how well they enjoy it. So I think the only thing about that is ego. Like, does he want to go to Curry's team to end it? I think that's the only part that comes into play.
Well, if they win it all, then it will be it's the second coming of KD.
Right there. And then Curry will be able to hold that over. Hey, KD, you needed a ring, you came to me. LeBron, you need to win that ring, you came to me.
And then he gets to say, and I'm still ahead because I got one too.
Yes. So,
Yeah. No, regardless of what happens with Curry, though, like, he's cemented in the Hall of Fame moving forward. He gets to be viewed as one of the icons of the sport because, what he did change the landscape of the way basketball is played. So, I mean,
absolutely.
You can't tell the story of the NBA without him at this point, especially with the direction that the NBA has gone. So,
right.
Whether he calls it at the end of the season, which I don't think he does, or if he plays just next year, or if he plays 3 more, it doesn't matter. There's nothing that he can do that's going to pull away from that. The only thing he can possibly do is people will look at it as like, you know what, he probably retired a couple years too late or something, if his game falls way off or he gets super injured a bunch of times or whatever. But there's nothing that he can do that's going to keep him from being, one of those basketball icons and in the Hall of Fame, stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree.
So, and like I said, I think that while he's still athletic, like I said, he could go right on to the PGA.
Sure.
And
what I look up tells me yes too. So,
yeah.
So, I mean, I've heard about that for a long time, that he's been like his handicap is like -4 or something like that, something ridiculous. So
coming to Philly.
Nice. And you know what, real quick, as we're talking about Philly for that half a second, it was announced yesterday the UFC is coming back to Philadelphia.
Nice.
UFC 330. The governor was on Pat McAfee with Dana White yesterday, talking about how in August the UFC is going to be at the Wells Fargo Center. Nice. And it may be the first time in God knows how long that it's been here. I don't even know. I guess it was like very early on the UFC was here.
I got you. Yeah, UFC was just here, not, I don't know, a month ago, something like that.
So it's the first time, I think, since maybe the inception, which is probably going on somewhere close to 20 years now, that the UFC is having a championship fight in Philadelphia.
Nice.
which is exciting. It's exciting stuff. Like everything's happening in Philly this year, so the Philly sports guy will be there somehow,
Busy,
some
busy.
way. You know, and I'm not sure how I'll paint up for that, but I'm sure I'll be painted. Or no, actually, I don't paint up for bare knuckle boxing either. So why would I paint up for UFC?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you need to paint up for that one.
Yeah, I could just put the mohawk up. That'll be enough.
Speaking of that, because it's probably going to be streaming also. You know, every one of these playing games is on streaming, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're going to watch, in fact, once you get into the playoffs, some of those are streaming also. And during the Charlotte game, you had the Amazon technical difficulties in overtime.
Right.
All these streaming services are killing me. Like,
Yes.
I mean, if you're going to stream these games, at least be good at it. I mean, we've seen Amazon fall short, Netflix falls short. Peacock has had plenty of issues with the sound.
Right.
And it's just like, guys, if you're going to force us to not only subscribe to your streaming platform, at least make it so we can watch the sport. I mean, you can't have coming down the stretch of overtime be like,
yes,
you can read about it tomorrow. Like,
right.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. And not even just one of the regular, like this is the play-in game where, hey, the loser's out. They're done. So this is even a little more critical. But it's like they spend all their time, bidding to get the rights to these games and half the time preparing to actually show the game. Like I need both. I need it on both sides here.
Now, none of them have been as bad as the Netflix Tyson fight, where like half the country just didn't get to see it. At the same time, if you're going to make us go to your streaming platform, it needs to be able to broadcast the whole thing.
Yeah. Seems like a basic requirement, right? Like, I'm not even asking that much.
It's not like it was on the user's end, right? Because if it was on our end, it'd just be choppy or whatever. And you'd be like, my cable sucks or whatever. But when it pops on the screen, technical difficulties or broadcast, whatever, you're just like, okay. I mean, guys,
somebody didn't pay the light bill,
right? Well, it's not even like one of your cameras went down where you're just like, oh, let's just bounce over to this other camera. You're like straight up zero feed. You're just like, this is not the deal.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
So, speaking of which, I'm going to transfer to that side. That's why I was giving the thumbs up, Pete. Thank you very much. And I may be back there for the Phillies. I'm not 100% certain yet. I'm working on that. But the NFL is having a problem right now with the streaming services and the United States government. The government is like saying, oh, listen, this is no longer a thing. We gave you certain accesses to be able to put this on public access television. You are now taking those and starting to, monopolize them in different ways, and you can't do that. So this is the government did a couple of things back in the 50s that I think is going to start to come back into play here a little bit. Football used to be played on every day of the week, and they stopped that. Now, the NFL changed a couple of rules this year. There was 4 rule changes specifically. 1, you could do the onside kick anytime you want to. You just got to announce it. 2, you're not allowed to kick it out of the end zone when you get a 15-yard penalty and you're kicking from the 50. You have to kick it off, which now I feel like, okay, well, why wouldn't you do an onside kick there? If you've got a 15-yard penalty, now's the time to do onside kicks at any time. Absolutely. So I think that's part of the reason why they changed that. So it's like, hey, I can kick an onside kick now from the 50. Why not? If they get it, they'll be on the 35-yard line anyways. Yep. And that Friday games are not short weeks. Thursday games are short weeks. Friday games are not short weeks. So, because they want to start to institute Friday football again.
Yeah.
And
The only thing about that is it's still viewed a little bit of a short week. They'll never have you play Monday and Friday.
right, correct. Yeah, that's way too close.
Mhm.
However, this is when you'll start to see, when the government said, okay, hold on now. All of these different streaming services, you guys are taking advantage
Mhm.
just for money purposes. You guys already print money.
Yeah.
You don't need all of this. So something's going to give here.
Yeah,
Right.
it'll be the Wednesday editions, right? That they keep trying to put in. Like that'll be the first one. If the government's going to get involved, they're going to be like, okay, we're not doing this.
Right.
Well,
I
the
agree.
other way was because of the Fridays. They wanted to have games on Fridays, and that's what they wanted to do for high schools. So,
Yeah.
like the moment that you start taking away from your feeder program, which is really what that is, high schools is a feeder program for the NFL. Same thing with college, it's a feeder program. This is all part of that.
Well,
You're going to
the Friday games aren't until after high school's done, though.
not necessarily. That's the thing that they have been. That's why they constituted this rule, because they're going to start to make these changes, especially when they switch to the 18 game season. They
Yeah.
still have not announced the date for the Super Bowl next year. Not for this upcoming season, the following season. And they're doing that because they're trying to get the 18th game.
Well,
And with that,
that's going to happen. Like the 18th game's going to come, and it gives them
Mhm.
that opportunity to finish on the Sunday before President's Day. We finally get the Monday as a holiday. I mean, bankers finally get that as a holiday. All of us that have been in the
2% of
trades are just
population.
like, hey, keep on keeping on. But
Basically, you never know when any holiday it actually is.
no.
So this is going to become a bigger story in general, I think. And
Yeah.
that it's going to interfere. Like, I think that they're coming at it through streaming.
Yeah.
But it's going to, listen, they're going to be like, hey, listen, you give up streaming or make these streaming services have to show these games for free.
Mhm.
So you could have the Netflix app and have to show that game for free. You can show all the Netflix commercials you want to try to get people to sign up for your service, but you can't make them sign up for your service to do this. And the fact that you got to sign up for all these services to see the games is no bueno.
Well, yeah, this last season it was $1,500 if you wanted to watch every single game because of everywhere that they were, which is ridiculous.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what they're talking about, that this is not happening, not going to happen, and we're going to step in if you don't solve the problem.
Yeah.
And I think that this is part of how they're going to attack it. They're going to attack the streaming and then start attacking the Fridays. And, like, you can't have games on Wednesdays and Fridays. You're not going to go after Christmas if it's on a Tuesday and have a Tuesday game. You're not going to do it.
I mean, they might. Speaking of ridiculous, that is this show, and we appreciate you tuning in today. If you are on the radio, 97.3, we do have some smooth jazz headed your way coming up next. If you are listening in every other platform, be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our stuff to you. Otherwise, we will see y'all tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody.
Smooth jazz.